Hello, it is Joy of Blue Time yet again, and I am not filming this in the setup that I had anticipated filming this since it is a project share. However, once again, time has slipped away from me, and the next thing I know, oh my god, I have to film a video because it needs to go up in 2 days. I swear, a week ago, I was like, oh, I should film that tomorrow, and now here we are. So, these are the two mini albums that I showed you the work in progress on. Again, they don't look very blue because the cut-aparts in the paper pads that I used, the backyard table from Michael's from a few years ago, lied to me. Most of the blue is in the cut-aparts, which are not in these mini albums. So I apologize that this looks like a Joy of Pink video. That's not the intention. There are still scraps that I need to use to make cards and such. I thought I would have done that by now, but I haven't had a chance. So these mini albums are pretty much finished. I kind of feel like the covers need a little bit more, even though they've got really busy paper on them, which maybe that's what's throwing me off as far as embellishing them, is it's like they are pretty busy, but then they also feel like they're not that busy, and I don't really know if I need to add anything else to the covers. Like, I was going to just add something small, like some gems or something, nothing huge, but I don't know if maybe they're good enough as they are. You guys can let me know. So these albums, as I mentioned before, are about 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. They're just little portfolio type albums, and I made them using 6x6 paper, which is the first time I've made something bigger than 6x6 using 6x6 paper. I think it turned out okay. The one on the left is the album I made first, or at least the cover I made first, and then I had to sort of mimic it on the right because there's only 2 sheets of each design in the paper pad, so once I had used up the majority of a design on one cover, I couldn't really reuse it. I can only use scraps and such. So like I said, this is the first album that I at least made the cover for. I think I kind of did the innards sort of kind of at the same time. So there's the back. I initially had wondered if I should put something else on top of this not blank, but like solid strip, but then I decided, you know what, it's the back cover, it doesn't need that. I did put this cut apart, the Stop and Smell the Roses cut apart on the front, and then I thought, you know, it doesn't really stand out from the pink strip behind it, so I just added a scrap of this blue and pink flower paper to make it pop out a little more, and then at the end, after I'd done everything, I put these 2 little paper flowers on the front of it. And then this is the inside here. It's fairly simple, which is why, comparatively for me when making mini albums, I made this relatively quickly. It's just got a pocket and with a belly band on it on the left, and then a 4x6 waterfall on the right. I ended up double-siding the waterfall with pattern paper, and then the inserts here are just solid cardstock from my stash with some little like tuck spot type things with cut aparts. So there's a pocket without any of the inserts in it, and then I have just a couple different sizes. Now, this big insert is probably the biggest reason that I didn't use pattern paper for it, because it's bigger than 6x6, so I just used some navy cardstock from my stash, and then I used this little Welcome to My Garden cut apart. I just rounded the corners to go with, you know, the rounded corners on the insert, and then I rounded the corner that's sticking out. And you can see here, it's just like, you can lift it up to put something underneath it if you wanted to, and then I just got the back blanked because I didn't want to make things too bulky. I also have these 2 pink inserts. I have this little journaling cut apart. I consider putting the journaling cut aparts on the waterfall, but then I'm like, it's probably gonna be awkward to write on, so this probably makes more sense. Again, they flip up, so you can stick something underneath if you wanted to, whether you want to use it just to hold something, or you just want to stick a picture underneath it. Kind of have this one at the top sort of to match this, but I guess if you really wanted to, you could just flip it. And then the last one here is just a little smaller one. I used the green card slot because it kind of matched with this, and then it also sort of helped bring in some of the green that's in the pattern paper. So much of this paper pad is like pinks and reds and purples and some blue, and then the green is kind of just an accent color, so I thought that would help bring it back out. And then on this side is the 4x6 waterfall. It is just a Velcro closure. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to undo it with one hand. Hey, look at that. So I got the Velcro closure there, and then the waterfall, and I'll just do a quick flip through. And then here I just covered the like bottom, it's not really a flap, but I just used the bigger Stop and Smell the Roses full 6x6 sheet there. And then with the second album here, like I said, I had sort of use scraps left over from paper I'd used for the first one for the cover, and then again kept the back simple, just use the same papers on the back without putting anything extra on it. And then the inside is very similar. I did end up putting just a sticker that goes with this collection on the front of this pocket because I just felt it was a little bit empty, whereas the other one, because it was like, you know, the pattern of the flowers growing up on the bottom, I kind of felt like that worked well as a design element, whereas it was kind of bland here without something in the middle. And obviously I used different paper for the belly band and the background. I will pull the inserts out to show you. The inserts themselves are exactly the same. And then the waterfall is mostly the same. It's the same as far as the closure, and then I tried to copy the order of paper as much as possible. So for instance, it is the same turquoise paper there up top, but then because I did have some that I'd used up both sheets, so I couldn't copy exactly the same order, I had to replace some patterns with others, which you'll see when I do a flip through. So I'm gonna not bother talking, I'll just show you a shot of what the pocket looks like without the inserts in it, and then just do another flip through of the waterfall. And that's it for this project share for the Joy of Blue collab. As always, everyone else who is participating in the collab is linked below. Please go check them out. They're all great, and I know they've had some great projects on the go. I hope everyone is well, and I will see you, I'm not sure when, probably goal update time again, because life. So I will see everyone next time. Bye!